Look at the Daryl faces.
Oh, that head is just, that head, Daryl, dude, you're unknockoutable. There is no way that you're knocking that dude out. His head's just so solid full of YouTube formulas.
Yep.
YouTube formulas. Yep. Daryl's a cool guy. He's a smart dude. We see him at Vid Summit every year. He'll talk to us. He's a cool guy. This week, our heroes talk about Jess's new book. Is Twitter gonna start charging you for twats? And Lady Gaga's doggas. All this and more on this week's episode of the CC Mouse Podcast. Pickle soup? Welcome to this week's episode of the CC Mouse Podcast. We're good for your ears. I'm Dan, and you can find me everywhere at RFSDan.
And I'm Jess, and you can find me everywhere at Gone to the Snow Dogs. We'll say that one this week.
You've just given up on it. You're like, find me. You can find me right here, right now.
You can find me all over the place. Soon at my new website, gonetothesnowdogs.com.
Ooh.
I mean, there's a website there now. It's just not. There's a new one coming.
Is there? All right. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Hopefully
within the month.
This time zone thing sucks, Jess.
Yeah.
It is
barely... I'm awake and I'm like, woo, let's do this. And you're like...
It's 8 a.m. It's 8 a.m., Jess. Why you gotta get me up
11.
at like 6:45 to set up for a podcast?
Well, because you wanted to do it today instead of last night.
I couldn't do it last night. I wasn't home.
I know, that's why.
Oh. It's okay. I'm not like... I don't know if I'm considered an early bird. Like, I don't look forward to getting up early. But I wake up. It doesn't matter what time I go to bed. I wake up early anyway.
I don't know that you're an early bird. You're an instant on.
Right.
Like... Anytime I've ever traveled with you and it's morning, like, you know, we're all getting up and we're like, we don't want to be awake. And like, you'll be asleep or something. We'll be like, all right, we're getting ready to go. And you're up. Like, there's no like transition period of rubbing sleep out of your eyes. You're just like, boom, on.
Yeah, I'm like up, like just like off and on like a light switch. But that's how I always, it's just time to do the things. Crystal can't. She wake up for like hours. Like, I don't know. She's like a bear coming out of hibernation.
It probably takes me 30 minutes. Like when I used to work at the deli, there was a lot of times where I would set my alarm and it would be 20 minutes before I had to get to work. And in 10 minutes, I could, get dressed, get ready, and then take off. Like when I have to be somewhere, I can do it. But like now working from home, it's about 30 minutes to an hour after I get up. But, I get up, I let the dogs out, I feed the dogs, I sit on the couch while they eat. Like I kind of just ease into that. And then after about 30 minutes to an hour, I'm at my computer, I'm working, I'm doing whatever I need to do.
I used to be that way when I was probably like 18, 19. I used to roll out of bed at 7:45, into my clothes, out the door, and I'd still be there to open the shop before everybody. It was no big deal. But the older I got, when I was working at the bike shop, though, I didn't start till like 10 in the morning, and I hated that. That. 10 to 7 is the worst. It's okay if you're a bike rider, because everybody would go ride in the morning when it was cool.
Right. But
it's the worst because, like, I get up at like, I get up with Crystal. Crystal gets up at like 6:45. So I'm up with Crystal in the morning. Like, oh, just time to be awake. And it's this weird limbo thing where you can do some chores in the morning, but you can't do anything fun or free time knowing that you have this cloud of work over your head. And I loved my job. Like, it wasn't even about that. And then you get home at 7:00 at night and it's nighttime. It's nighttime already.
Yeah, you worked the worst shift when you worked there. Like that was always when I worked at McDonald's all those years ago, that 10 to 7 shift or 10 to 6, that was that or the 11 to 7 or 11 to 8. Those were my two most hated shifts. Yeah. Like let me come in first thing in the morning and leave by 2, or let me come in at 2 and work till 10. Like that was, because at least then you have the ability to get something done. And
yes, you have nothing. Like Rich, the guy who owned the shop, loved it because he'd get up at 5:30 in the morning and then he'd go do his rides and stuff. So he had his full day and then he'd come into the shop. I'm not like that. I need to like do all my stuff early, otherwise it weighs on my head the whole time and I can't get anything done. And it would suck. Remember sometimes we'd podcast when I get home, and I'd get home by like 7:30 or 7:40. We'd podcast by like 8. That's already 11 o'clock your time. And I know you stay up late, but it's still the end of your day. It's not. Yeah. It's not weird. We're not even that far away. Like, we're just... We're not even that far away. So, the time's always odd to me. So, yes, I'm at 8:30 in the morning right now. 8:20 in the morning. You're like almost like noon already. It's like already lunchtime. It's already lunchtime for you. I'm barely up and just out of my PJs.
You're like, I'm awake, let's do this. And I'm like, I already got all these things done. It is interesting doing this and being on this time zone difference. I mean, even with everything else we work on together, it's always so weird because I always feel like I'm rushing to get you stuff. And then I look down and I go, oh man, it's only like 3 o'clock there, where it's like, 6 o'clock here or 9 o'clock here. And I'm like, I got to get this to you so that you can get it done before blah, blah. And I'm going, oh, you got time. I don't have time.
Yeah. Because you're up before me. Yeah. Usually up before me, and then you go to bed and I'm still up a bunch of hours.
Exactly.
Bunch of hours after you. Sometimes you'll get a 2 a.m. text message of like something's complete, but it's only like 11 o'clock. It's only like 11 o'clock my time. So it is interesting, and I will say it does screw with things. We barely get an overlap of time together. Yeah.
It's very interesting. Like you said, I shut my phone to do not disturb at night, so I wake up in the morning and it's like I got all these messages and like, oh, and then I'm messaging you back going, man, I hope your phone's not actually going off. I hope you have it shut.
No, it'll vibrate up over there, but no more than anything. No more than Robin Hood telling me that I'm losing money on my Dogecoin. No more than that. Hey, just real quick, this is just happening now. Because you're like, I just saw your post. What is up with this pickle soup that you made that is either making people fall in love with it or unsubscribe?
So hopefully next week there will be a new video going up on Snow Dog's Cooking, as long as I filmed it correctly and didn't wreck it. I made Polish dill pickle soup. Now, I've had this before. My friend Kasia from Creative Pet Keeping, actually, one time we were camping, she brought like packets of instant soup, and one of them was a dill pickle soup, and it was amazing, and I've always wanted to recreate that flavor. So I got online and I looked up a ton of recipes. I wanted to make an Instant Pot version because I love my Instant Pot. I love how easy it is. So I went through like 5 to 7 recipes and was pulling out all of the different ingredients and like looking at the instructions and going, okay, I can modify this and I can change this. And I basically created my own version, and it was amazing. Like there's pickles in it. There's pickle juice in it.
A lot.
I mean, it doesn't taste like you're eating a bucket of pickles. It has a very like a pickle essence flavor. It's so different. There's potatoes and carrots and pickles, and yes, there is chopped pickles in the soup. Like, they go in the soup.
A hint of pickles, or is it?
It's like an essence of pickle.
Pickle essence. That's the new cologne. Pickle essence.
Essence comes from the dark crystal. So every time I say that, I think of that.
So I've learned that
they drain the essence of the gelflings. We drain the essence of the pickles.
I just gotta leave that one alone. So pickles are so divisive that I learned. Like, for instance, I did a food review for McDonald's yesterday where we ate these chicken sandwiches, and they didn't put no pickles on Blake's. And Blake, couldn't finish it. He, at the end, when the review video was over, he was trying to rip the breading off so he could eat the part that didn't taste like pickles because he can't eat the pickles. I made him give me my pickles. But,
right?
Yeah, so he can't eat the pickles. And even I think even Jim Johnston was like, nah, I'm out. Yeah. I'm out. Yeah, Crystal this morning too was like, what the heck is Jess's problem? And I'm like, I bet it just has a hint. I didn't realize the word essence. It had a hint, just a hint of pickle, but maybe not if there's chunks in there.
Jamie explained it as like, it smells like almost like a vegetable soup almost.
Okay.
Because it has chicken broth in it, which you can make it with vegetable stock if you want, but it has chicken. I made mine with chicken broth. So it has that almost that vegetable chicken soup smell. You don't really smell a whole lot of the dill flavor. And then the other thing is it really matters what type of pickles you used. I used the Dietz and Watson brand pickles because they're a garlicky pickle, but they're not like an over vinegary pickle. Like, I feel like if you made this and you used straight up Vlasic, it's going to taste totally different. So I think the secret to making this soup is picking I guess you would call it a high quality pickle.
You gotta know how to pick your pickle.
You gotta know how to pick I made a couple pickle jokes.
Did you make a Peter Piper joke?
No, I almost did because I said pick your pickles and so yeah. But no, it was really good. We had it for dinner last night, and then I was skeptical like everybody else. Well, one, I didn't know if I could make it. I've had it before, and I loved it, but I didn't know if I could recreate what I had before. Next time around, I told Jamie, because it makes a lot, and I'm doing a test to see if it freezes well. Like, I left enough out so we can have it one more time this week, and then I froze 2 bags. And when I make soups that I've never made before, because potatoes don't normally freeze very well, I'll write test on the bag, and then in my notebook I have does it freeze well written down in my cookbook. And then when the first time we thaw it and try it, if the potatoes turn to mush and it's still good, then yeah, it freezes well. It's edible. If the potatoes don't taste quite right or something in it doesn't taste quite right, outright, doesn't freeze well. And then I'll modify the recipe again so that when I make it, I make 2 servings of it instead of 4. Because this made 4 for Jamie and I. So technically it made 8 servings.
That's cool. But, that's a lot. It looked interesting.
Yeah. Next time around, I'm going to try it with a different brand of pickles. I really like the Dietz and Watson, but they're a very garlicky pickle. I really want to... Yeah, they're a garlic not dill. Sweet. I would not try to make this with sweet pickles. It would taste very strange.
That'd be interesting.
Next time around, I want to try it with the spicy garlic pickles that McClure's Pickles makes. That's the one I want to try it with next time.
I would definitely try your soup because I'm down. Like, I don't mind pickles at all. As I get older and stuff, I start to realize that maybe they are a little bit overwhelming for all my stuff. Like, it always takes over the flavor on it. So maybe I won't get like extra pickles, but like I ate all Blake's pickles on my stuff just fine. But Blake just he can't do it. He can't do it.
Don't knock it till you try it. That's one of the things. Don't knock it till you try it. I really think we should. I think we should do like a collab thing now that you guys are doing more cooking stuff and I'm doing some cooking stuff. I think we should have like a cook off or like a challenge thing where we like either you and I or Crystal and I or whatever, but like where we maybe once a week or something, we have like this cool challenge where it's like we're both going to make this thing and see like whose turns out better or whose looks better in a photo or something and have like the audience vote on which one they like.
I think we can work something out like that.
I've been watching these 2 TikTokers, Mama Cusses, and I can't remember the other girl's name, but they actually do these food offs where they challenge each other where they're like, you've got to make something with SpaghettiOs, pickles, and garlic or something weird. So they have to like come up, which I don't know that I want to go that far with it, but they have to come up with these recipes using certain things. And I've been having so much fun watching them figure out these creations. And I started thinking, well, I've brought back my cooking channel and you guys are doing more with cooking now. So we actually have a good crossover, like a channel that might actually cross over correctly. Right. So, I don't know, maybe we should... I could even do a live once a week where I'm doing something, a challenge that you guys have, or I can have you guys on Skype, or Crystal can be telling me what the heck I'm supposed to be doing, but anyway, I had that idea last
night. She'll tell you what to do if you need help with that. I did see some of the TikToks where, like, it was like boyfriend, girlfriend, or whatever, and they're like, we're gonna both make pizza, and then they both ran off to different aisles to go grab different ingredients so they can make stuff, and that did look fun. I'm just barely trying to get down the Wednesday cooking shows. We did sofritas last week, which was actually turned out really, really, really good.
It looked really good. It looked really good.
They weren't easy to make, but they did turn out really good, and they warmed up the next day pretty dang good. So I was excited about that. Tomorrow, Wednesday, well, actually, when you're listening to this tonight, I will be making crunch wraps. At least I know how to do that. I'll be making crunch wraps live on RFS Dan on YouTube.
Yeah, so if you guys haven't followed him yet over there, youtube.com/RFSDan.
Yeah, you can
live
see
tonight!
Live with the Dan Cam. I have that Dan Cam, which I don't know how long that's going to last for, but for right now, it's been showing up every week. Yeah, it's hot. It's hot on here.
Oh, I bet.
It's like, it just sits there. It's just that GoPro steaming, which, man, I love my GoPro. I'm telling you. I was using it this week too, and I was just like, man, I love you. You're beat up on your deathbed. Yeah. Look at my bottom of mine. My bottom's just like wiped out. I have no more doors. It's been dropped. It's been kicked. It's been run over, and it's exactly what it's supposed to be doing. Like, that's it. It's supposed to be beat to crap, and it's supposed to be run down. I don't put any caps on my stuff. I just let all my stuff just get beat to heck because...
This is my 8, my 9's in my camera bag.
Is it? My 7's. Ooh, they need to hurry up and come out with the 10 because my 7's not going to make it more. And I've only had it a little over a year. We got him at VidCon a year and a half ago. Ooh, full year and a half ago. 2019 in June, we got him at VidCon.
Yep.
And
that was when we got...
You've had 2 since.
Yeah, I have the 8 because I had the 7, bought the 7, bought the 8, bought the 9 because I'm a GoPro sucker.
Right, and you'll buy the X.
I will buy the next one.
Or the 10.
I almost did the other day. I was working with this, and I'm like, I'm just going to buy another 9 so that all the batteries work for the same thing. And then I'm like, but the next one's going to come out soon. Maybe I'll wait.
Right, the next one should have your batteries. It's like 2 generations of batteries usually. Yeah. But who knows what they're going to do for 10.
Yeah,
like I said,
the batteries in the 8 match the 7, I think.
I think so too. But I didn't get the 8. I was either gonna grab a 9 because
Yeah.
I need the GoPro, but I'm scared that if I buy one right now, that the X is gonna come out.
It shouldn't come out till September. That's
September.
usually their release. Like, for realistically, when you look at the date-wise, it's not going to come out till September.
But it's the worst time to buy a GoPro right now because can I wait till September with this thing? Probably. But if I buy it right now, they're still like $350. They haven't dropped it down to $299 free shipping yet. Right. But I'm like $50. Like, I use this thing every day for my vlogs and my stuff, and this is what I do all the vlog stuff on.
I think the difference between the 7 and 9 will blow you away. The low light on the 9 is phenomenal compared to the 7.
It's just big.
It's not that I don't have mine here to show you a comparison, but it's really like, here, wait, I have these. So this is what my 8 fits in.
Right.
This is what my 8 fits in. This is what my 9 fits in.
But they're both still bigger than my nice little 7. That's perfect.
The 8 is the same size as the 7.
Is it?
Yeah, I don't think it's any bigger. When I had my 7, I don't think this is any bigger. This is tiny.
I know we're getting super deep into nerdy TikTok here, but
I was on a train once.
The 9 has that front-facing camera and stuff. Is that just useless? Like,
no, it's actually really nice for framing things when you have the camera in front of you. Like, it's not a full frame on the 9. Like, It only shows a little square, but it's perfect for when you want to make sure something's in the center. I do use it.
Does that eat your battery life?
No, the batteries on it still last. Like, I feel it. I can go out and run dogs multiple days in a row without doing the battery on mine, so.
Oh, you might just have sold me a new GoPro.
Amazon affiliate link down below.
yeah. Do you have a link for me to click on?
Oh yeah, I'm sure I'd get you one from Amazon. Hold on.
I know. I was trying to buy a backup system, and I'm like, can I get an affiliate link from you? I couldn't get it off of Amazon though. It was way too expensive.
Was it?
It ended up being almost $100 more expensive for 4 terabytes less of storage.
Yeah.
So I had to get it on. I had to get it on Newegg.
Newegg has an affiliate program too.
Newegg's good, but I could not find a valid coupon for Newegg at all. 10%
they don't
or
really,
nothing.
They don't really work as good as they used to.
I went to all the coupon sites. I had people message me their emails of 10% off, and none of those codes worked. None of those codes. I was like, darn, I already got it at a super low price for what I need it for, but blasted.
I want to save a little bit more.
I just want to 10 more %. I would have felt like justified.
Right.
I'd have felt super justified. Anyway, all right, Jess. So let's get on to something else. You did a dog transport this last week.
Yeah. We did.
And I know because I watched the video.
You did.
Yeah. Yes. So let's talk about that a little bit. And even watching the video, it was hard to watch the video.
It's hard, isn't it? I told you, it's hard.
It's hard, but it's happy.
It is. There's an element of sad, but there's also an element of, of happy when it comes to it. Like, so we did the transport. We got notified that this dog needed a ride, and it was in Cadillac, Michigan, which is like straight across the state from us. It's like 2.5 hours over to Cadillac, and the dog needed to go up to the Husky Rescue up in the Upper Peninsula. So it started off, we were going to have to drive 2.5 hours over to Cadillac, and then like 2 hours up to the bridge to drop off the dog, and then an hour and a half home. So it was going to be a multiple hour trip.
Well, is Cadillac by Traverse City?
Yeah, south. It's south of Traverse City.
So you went all the way to the other side of the state.
It's an hour south of Traverse City. But yeah. It's like driving straight across the center of the state. So when it started off, we were going to have to do that. And then we posted in the group for the rescue, hey, can anybody bring this dog from Cadillac to Gaylord? Because Gaylord's only 75 miles. And the nice thing about Gaylord is, it's kind of right in the middle. So we drive from here to the middle and up. And somebody was willing to do that. So somebody else picked her up. A friend of mine actually picked her up in Cadillac and brought her to Gaylord. And that's where we picked her up at. And oh my gosh, she's taller than Memphis by a lot. And she weighed as much as Kira. Dang. And she had put on 10 pounds since they grabbed her.
The dog looked pretty sucked up.
It was crazy how tiny. Like Jamie said, petting her she was bones. It was sad. It was really sad.
Yeah.
But, we did what we could. She was pulled from an abuse case. She was found living in a kennel, and living in, dogs have to go to the bathroom, so she was living in everything. She's going to need a lot of baths, that's for sure.
Yeah. So what's it like with the dog? Was she like happy to hop in the car? Did she just deal with it, or?
She wouldn't get up in the back of my Jeep. She put her front paws up there like she wanted to get in. And then I'm like, well, I guess we're going to have to like help her into the car because it's a little bit tall. But, there's always that element of this is a dog I've never handled before. And how is she going to react? Right. And we got to make sure that she's okay. She had no issue with me picking her up. She got in there and laid down and she seemed okay. No tail wagging. She wasn't real excited. She was confused more than anything.
Right. Right.
We had a couple snacks, but you can't feed her too much because you don't want to just give them a whole bunch of food when they've been starved like that because that can cause a lot of issues. So we had a few little treats. We gave her a couple of treats just to kind of let her know, hey, you're okay. We're not going to lock you in here. And she was receptive of those things, but she definitely she was scared. She was very scared.
Yeah, I could tell that she needed a sandwich. She reminds me of when Mouse showed up here, and I didn't realize it until now. I look at Mouse. When Mouse showed up here, he looked like a mouse. He was sucked up. He didn't you could tell compared to where he's at now. That I was like, oh dang, you were lean just because of not enough nourishment.
Yep.
And yeah, this poor girl in the back of your Jeep looked like she could gain a few pounds.
Yeah, she could probably, I think they said she was 42 pounds now. She could probably easily put on another 15.
Right.
Easily.
So it seems like you transferred her, no problem. She just chilled there, just hung out from A to B, and then off she goes after hanging out with her. Is this going to be a good dog? Like, is this dog fixable or like?
I think she's definitely going to make somebody really happy. She needs some rehabilitation. She needs to know that, not everybody's a bad person. Like, she wasn't like aggressive or anything like that. She was just very timid and scared. But even as she rode in the back of the car, you could kind of tell like the Jeep would hit a bump and you could tell she was like, oh my gosh, what is that? So I think over time she'll learn to trust people again and she'll learn to trust again. I guess there was a lot of cats in the house where she was at as well, so she's used to cats, so they're going to test her. Basically what they'll do at the rescue is, first she'll get a bunch more vet care, they're going to hopefully put some more weight on her, and then she'll get evaluated, so like they'll have her interact with other dogs, they'll have her interact with other cats once she's healthy enough. And then, all right, she'd be good for a home by herself or she'd be okay for a home with cats. Right. So they got to do all that before she's available for adoption. But I think she'll make somebody a really good dog. She's young. She's only like 2 years old. So I think she's at an age where they'll definitely be able to make sure that she gets a good
home. Still a lot
I guess
of
there's
dog
already
left.
one person interested in her that is really, really interested in her. So she might go to foster there good. And then maybe get adopted.
Thanks for doing that. I know it's hard. You and I did one.
Yeah.
When we were out in Michigan, and it's not easy. It's sad, but at the same time, it's like, oh, you're done with all this junk. Like you're done with it.
Yeah, the one I did with you was really hard because that boy dog looked so much like Shelby, and those dogs were so. Like, that dog was like, just pet me and love me, and like, he just wanted attention. Like, the female, not so much, but that male dog that was in the back was like, and I lost it on that trip. When we dropped her off, as soon as we got home, like, I lost it, and it's part of what you get angry at the people, and then you get sad, and then you feel bad for the dog, and then you come home and you look at your own, my own spoiled dogs, and I'm like, you don't know how good you got it. Like,
Yeah. No, you're right. But when we took those dogs, that one was pregnant.
Yeah, we're pretty sure.
That one's popped. That one's reproducing.
Yeah.
Well, good. Thanks for doing that. I know it's hard, Jess, and there's not a lot of people up there to transport. Yeah,
we're kind of in a spot where there's not a lot of volunteers in our area that do that or even know that they can do that. So yeah, I might be transporting or doing another video here next week. Our local animal control took in 15 husky mix puppies.
So crazy.
Yeah. Apparently she's taking the adults as well because they're all in pretty bad shape. And some of them might be a little bit too far gone. But yeah, she reached out to me and I told her, I said, maybe we should make a video about these puppies and we should let people know and see if we can, because they've got these puppies they have to handle. So like they need puppy food and they need all these things.
Right.
And it's,
and homes.
so Yep.
And home.
Yeah, so we might do another. It won't be a transport, but it'll be more of like an informational. Hey, this is a
that'd be good.
That'd help
out. That'd help out the dogs. Out here at our places, it's all huskies at the pound. It's all huskies and Pickles.
Yeah.
Out here, a lot of them.
Yeah.
Whenever we see anybody walk in, it's always a husky. Whenever we see a lost dog flyer, always a husky out here. They're so dang popular.
They are.
Yeah, and it sucks because like at Crystal's mom's house in the backyard, I can see over the fence into the next door neighbor's house. It's just got this dirt backyard with nothing in it, and there's just this most beautiful husky just hangs out there. Doesn't get to do any husky things. Doesn't get to join in any reindeer games or snow. You get to live in sunny Southern California, which until I met you, I wouldn't have known the difference. But now I'm just like, dang, this poor dog probably does like, it's not that the dog doesn't want to be there, but the dog is built, like Indy showed me, the dog is built for snow because the snow falls off it and Indy's got snow kicked onto her. Yep. Oh my gosh. So it's like this dog wants to like probably not be in the 105-degree summers out in the backyard.
Yeah. And huskies they can live in any climate if you do what's right for them. Like I follow a guy on TikTok who lives in Arizona and he has huskies, but he built them an outdoor doghouse with an air conditioner in it. And the air conditioner runs all the time and it's fully insulated and it has 2 dog doors and it's a nice big cooling box. So the dogs can hang out outside and when they get too hot, they go inside this air conditioned box and chill out. That guy did everything right. Like he knew that his dogs needed to be cold. So he specifically built them their own area and space with an air conditioner, which I think is amazing. And there's just not enough people out there that do stuff like that for them, that understand that they do need certain things.
They do.
They don't want to be out there when it's 120.
I would have never known. I had an Alaskan Malamute when I was 8 years old. His name was Alf. I named him Alf. And we had this Alaskan Malamute for a couple years, and they're right here in southern, sunny California. It was a beautiful dog. Beautiful dog with the 2 eye colors and stuff like that. But I didn't know, and I don't think my family knew. We just treated it like a normal dog. And then finally we gave it to a home of somebody that actually had dogs like that actually knew what they were doing. Right. But I was a kid. I barely remember. So we've done it like just uneducated.
Yeah.
Uneducated people doing uneducated things, and it happens, it happens.
Yep, it does. It happens.
Speaking, Jess, of education, I've noticed lately this new book by Daryl Eves, The YouTube Formula, How Anyone Can Unlock the Algorithm to Drive Views, Build an Audience, and Grow Revenue. I'm pretty sure there should be a comma there and not a period because you don't have "and" after that. But that is okay. Hey, Dan, why do you care so much about this book? You have Jess to run your YouTube life. That is true. But she can also run yours too because Jess has a chapter in this book.
Did you read it yet?
No, look, it's like still like it still hasn't like bound the bend. I opened it up to do I opened it up and I tried to flip through there to see if I could see her name, but everything's just, there's no pictures really. There's like one picture, but everything's just words, so I couldn't find your name 7. Fast enough. What's that?
It's chapter 7.
Is it chapter 7?
Yeah. I'm
super proud of you. I'm super proud that you made this in here, Jess. You were published. Is this your first time you've been published?
No, actually it's not.
No?
But no, the many years ago in a book, but I'd have to find it and even remember the name of it. We've been in magazines too, but
it's true.
The first time, like in a long time, and the first time that I think it actually isn't just about the dogs.
Right. This is about you, about the YouTube formula, about success on YouTube. I remember you did this about a year ago or so. I remember you were like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be in Daryl's new book. And I'm like, no way. We were all super happy. And then you did it. And then now here it is. Here it is coming to fruition. Tuition. No, you pay tuition. Oh, here it is. Right in front of our face. You have to be excited about this.
I am. I'm pretty excited about it. I got my copy. I've already, started reading it and going through it. There's going to be an audiobook, but it's not going to be out until I think he said June.
Right. And this is Daryl doing his own audiobook, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Look at the Daryl faces.
Oh, that head is just that head, Daryl, dude, you're unknockoutable. There is no way that you're knocking that dude out. His head's just so solid, full of YouTube formulas.
Yep.
YouTube for Daryl's a cool guy. He's a smart dude. We see him at Vid Summit every year. He'll talk to us. He's a cool guy. He's not like all those other jerk gurus. Oh, there's so many of them. Because here's the thing. In order to be one of those gurus, and Tony Robbins, Tim Robbins, Tony Roma's, I don't know, one of them sells ribs, one of them tells you how to live your life. Those people always make it feel like they're getting one over on you. They're always making it feel like that no matter what they do or they teach you, it's in the best interest of them, which it is to a degree. They have to make their money and stuff. But in an industry where it feels slimy, if slimy, that's a good person. It feels slimy. It feels like an angle. It feels like you're telling me all the things I need to know, but don't forget to subscribe to my service at the end so you can maximize this. Like, there's always something behind it. And I feel like Daryl really doesn't do that. He's got his courses and stuff, but I feel like he puts everything out on Front Street, so there's no Daryl
genuinely likes to help people.
Right.
Like, he genuinely likes to help people and see people succeed. And that's one of the things that, like, I really like that. Like, and I feel like, you know, especially when him and I have talked, I feel like I'm kind of on that same page. Like, I would rather sit down and help you than have you pay all this money. Like, not to say that I haven't done that. You know, I especially the past couple weeks, I've done consulting for people and they've paid for it because I do understand that my time is valuable. But especially when it comes to people I know, like, I am not opposed to sitting down and talking to you for 20 minutes and, you know, helping you or giving you advice on something. If you want more detailed advice, then it's probably going to have to be something where we have to set up a time and it's going to have to be a paid for call because you're asking for, you know, so much more. But I'm always like, when I learn new tips and tricks and things like that, I'm always messaging you, messaging other people, you know, try this, do this, I heard this might work, experiment with this. Like, I don't know. But I love social media. I hate it as well, but, you know.
Right. We won't get into any Clubhouse talk today. I know people. We won't get into any Clubhouse talk today, but you have been doing a lot of stuff for the industry. So this is good. I haven't read this yet, so I can't be like, this changed my life. But Jess, you've done a lot of stuff with Daryl. You've been through his classes, you've done a lot of stuff, and I hang out with you all day, so I've gotten a lot of trickle down information, and it's been good stuff. The thing that I like the best about Daryl, he's just not a jerk. I just can't deal with some of these gurus. I can't be around them at these conventions. They just have this like this aura that comes off of them of just this stank of like, you're not good enough, or they're always looking over your eyes at whatever else is walking around you. Daryl's a good guy, so I like that. So I would listen, you know, I would definitely listen to what he has to say. I think it's really cool that you're in that book. I think that's super awesome.
And I know you're not going to read it, but Crystal will.
Crystal said she'd read it out loud to me. I might listen to the audiobook. I love audiobooks, but will I actually open this up and read this? No,
I know you won't.
I know you won't. With the only other two books that I've read. I read this one. This is the only book in my life that I've ever read. I read it on an airplane. That is it. Even the I Justine book that I have, I got that on audiobook. And then the rest of the stuff's like dumb stuff. I read this much of a Kevin Smith book. That is all the books I've read in my life. In your life, Dan? In my life. Through high school, through elementary school. What about book reports and stuff? I never did any of that stuff. I never read. I'm not bragging. I just don't read. It's like not useless, but it's just so like I'm visuals. I need videos. I need audiobooks, pages and stuff. Look, it's the same thing at every page. It's visually not stimulating. It's boring. So no, I will not read the pages in this. I like this and stuff, but yes, I will do the audiobook. And honestly, Crystal, who is just starting out on YouTube, she'll get a lot out of this because Crystal has no idea.
And that was the reason that I wanted to make sure that you guys got a copy of it, was because I'm like, I know Crystal needs to read this.
Right, and I tried to get one anyway because I was like asking you when you were on Daryl's live stream when he promoted it for 12 hours. And you were on his live stream. Would you kick so much butt? Oh my gosh! So you went on Daryl's live stream because he was promoting the book for 12 hours. You guys talked about YouTube and stuff, and then he brought on some other people, and oh my gosh, tank! Like, you did so well. You kept up with them. You guys had back and forths and stuff. And then they brought some other people on there. They brought the tow truck guy on there. And this isn't a bash against the tow truck, and I'll tell you why in a minute. But the tow truck guy got on there, and him and Daryl tried to like do channel evaluations. Dude could not speak at all because this guy was successful at his craft. He was not successful teaching his craft. He had great success with that really rad towing channel that we watched one time at your house. We watched like hours of the people pulling other people.
Matt's Off-Road.
Yes. Yeah. But it was a good exercise on, because I can, doing and not teaching, or Or people that find TikTok success, but they have no idea how to do with their success, and people automatically think just because you get 1 million subscribers that you know how to work YouTube, and that was also not only not true, but proven in that live stream when that guy didn't have any YouTube advice to give because he's learning himself. So it's interesting to see it. It is.
And I've said it before, I don't consider myself an expert in anything. I consider myself a student of all of it. Like, I may know more than, somebody, but that doesn't mean I know it all. And I feel like I'm always learning as well. I mean, I've learned new things and I'm telling you, hey, I learned this and I saw this.
How many videos did we scrap over the last 2 weeks?
I'm taking a course on Facebook next week because I want to learn how to do Facebook better. So I had a friend of mine that went through this Facebook course, and I'm not usually big into buying into that stuff. Like, normally I would rather sit down in a room with people who have done it. But so I have a friend of mine who took his Facebook pages from being not monetized to monetized in the matter of a month. And he made all of these changes, and like looking at his page, I saw all these subtle changes. Right. And finally he was like, oh yeah, I took this course and I just did everything it said. And I'm like, well, maybe I should take... My Facebook pages are monetized, but is there something in there that could teach me how to do what I'm doing better, like structuring playlists, structuring series, So next week, I'm going to take it and see what else I can learn about Facebook. Because, again, in what I do for a living, it changes every single day. So it's always a good idea to stay up on these things.
Yes. And as more time passes, it's quicker changing. Things become relevant way, way quicker. Way quicker things become relevant. And, a lot of like so right now, if you were to find fame on YouTube instantly you found fame with a series or like the series, like, you remember those dudes from like, I don't know if they're from England or Australia, and they're just climbing up high and they're just dropping stuff down and stuff. Yeah. Those guys found like dude perfect fame so fast. But what you first do is you start outsourcing stuff. Other editors, other people doing stuff, other people getting you stuff. You have to do it all yourself because you're still at that cusp. You're still not quite to where you can just fully sub everything out and let go. So maybe like that towing channel and stuff, because they have people that do their stuff. So it depends. If you're doing everything on your own, then you have to stay up on this all the time. Otherwise, the people that you have doing it for you have to stay up on it all the time.
I still feel like even with having people do it for you, it's still really important for you to know how things work. Like, I would be doing myself a disservice if I like handed off everything. Like, even my Facebook page, I do work with a company that helps me with my Facebook page. But I still want to learn about Facebook. Like, I still want to learn how to do better and do things differently. Because, they may be helping me manage my Facebook page, but that doesn't mean there's not something that I can be putting work in as well. Or, hey, reaching out to them. Let's try this week. Let's try this and see what happens. Like, I just feel like, again, I would be doing myself a disservice if I handed it off and then, I don't want to learn any more about it because somebody else is managing it. Because even if you have somebody that knows what they're doing managing it, 6 months from now, a year from now, if they haven't stayed up on what's working, then you fall behind. Right. It's hard. It is way different than aiming that camera at dogs. That is this much of it. This much of it. Well, Jess, I'm happy. Oh, I don't know what I did with your book. I buried your book. We'll call. I'm very proud of you, Jess. I'm super happy that you're in book. That you're in this book. I'm super happy that Daryl reached out to you. That'll be the thumbnail.
I'm just holding your book. That's not going to be the thumbnail. That's even the thumbnail for even this
thing. What, we could put Daryl in the background and us each holding the book?
Oh, no, we're going to have to like push ourselves to the corner here so his head couldn't fit in there. Oh, I love you, Daryl. But good job. I'm happy about that. Has anybody reached out to you and said anything to you since that didn't know that you were in there?
No, I had a couple people on Facebook message me that, I think a lot of people that are in my circle knew that I was in the book already. We talked about it.
Yeah,
so.
I remember for the day that I was like, oh, a little time went by and then here you are. Well, just let's talk about one more thing real quick before we get off of social media talk. You sent me something the other day. Are you done talking about the book? I don't want to cut you off. You done talking about the book?
Yeah. You want to get one Amazon affiliate link in the video description below?
Is there an Amazon affiliate link in there?
Yeah.
No, seriously, the book's like $20. Like it's $20 well spent, especially since, like I said, I've gotten a lot of trickle down from you. A lot of stuff since you did Daryl's class and stuff like that. And if there's any percentage of it in here at all, that was in your class,
And
I would definitely be hopping on it, because it is good stuff, and it is stuff that will make a difference. It will make a difference in your channel. It will. If not, Mr. Beast wouldn't be putting forwards on here. Mr. Beast can put his name on anything. But I don't like Mr. Beast, Dan. You don't understand Mr. Beast. That's the thing. Right. If you knew him, or you listened to him talk about what he's doing to make this product, you would be fascinated. The videos that he does is a byproduct of the system that he's using to make all the stuff work. The algorithms, every time somebody views my video, it changes the thumbnail. Just all this stuff isn't about what you see on the outside. It's about what the analytics are showing him behind the scenes. So Kid is way smarter than we give him credit for. Way smarter than we give him credit for.
Yes, he is.
Everybody thinks he's a goof or a goon, or nobody likes him online. And I get it. If you just watch his videos, like, why do I want to sit here? Why do I want to watch him put 1,000,000 pennies in a bathtub or whatever? It's not about that. It's about something larger. And that kid has got math. That kid's got numbers in his head. I bet he loved math class.
Oh, probably.
He probably loved math class growing up, or figuring out problems. He probably loves problem books and stuff like that. You know? So, Jess, Twitter announces some updates coming. The abilities for users to charge their followers for access to additional content, and the ability to create and join groups based around specific interests. I want to go with the second one first before we start talking about the first one. The ability to start creating groups. Do you know what that means at all?
I think that it's going to be kind of like what you used to be able, and I don't know if you still can, but you used to be able to like group people that you followed on Twitter, so that like you could go to a certain place and like follow all these same people. I think that what they're doing with their groups, and I don't know because like, you know, it's not launched yet. I don't have access to it yet. It sounds like it'll be kind of like you can join a group on Facebook, and then you'll be able to go there on Twitter, and everybody's posts will be in alignment there.
Okay, so it'll have to be on your profile somewhere for me to access like yourself. I'm sure they'll figure out the visual logistics.
Right. It's an interesting concept. Twitter is very behind the times on everything. You know, a lot of people say Twitter's not relevant, but you'd be surprised. It is. There is still a lot of power in Twitter. But it's really interesting to see that they're finally waking up and going, maybe we should add things. Maybe we should try to do stuff like this. And this was, like I said, one of the first articles I'd read in a while where I'm like, oh, look at, they're coming out with they're coming out with kind of similar to Clubhouse, a speech thing. Twitter has come out with stories. You can now do Twitter stories just like you can Facebook and Instagram and all of that, which has been interesting. I haven't used it yet, you know, so I don't really know a whole lot about it. And then the other thing they're releasing is it's kind of like the memberships on YouTube. I don't know how well that's going to go over on Twitter. I don't see myself using that feature. Like, I don't see myself using a feature where you can support my Twitter page to get access to things you can't see. Why would I do that there when I can do it all these other places? I feel like that shouldn't have been the first thing they came out with.
Yes. Okay, so the payment feature is called Super Follows. This will allow Twitter users to charge followers and give them access to extra content. This could be a bonus tweet, access community group subscriptions, or a newsletter. I'm exhausted, Jess. I'm exhausted. This was it. This was the straw that broke the Dan's back. I'm exhausted. And I come from, like, this is my monies. I should be taking advantage of this. I should be using this. I should be charging you guys to see my twats when I've been tweeting every time I put my underwear on inside out backwards, or I put a t-shirt on backwards, which happens maybe once a week, where I put an article of clothing on incorrectly and then I tweet about it. Oh, put my underwear on backwards today. Hashtag number 3. It's just, I'm burnt out. I can barely keep up with my memberships on YouTube and my memberships on Patreon. That's fine. 2 totally different things. But now you're doing this thing to me that is listen to me, Twitter, because you're in your twilight. You are the last to be picked on every team every time. People are picking Snapchat over you, Twitter, to be on their team.
And
I'm losing it. I don't care. I don't want to pay for Netflix and Disney Plus and YouTube and Paramount and Peacock. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of paying $15 to be it's for everything to be segmented. I'm done. I'm done.
I think that, like, when it comes to like memberships on YouTube and Facebook page supporters, because that's kind of the same thing. Like, Facebook has a page supporters feature for larger pages. On YouTube, there are people that literally only watch you on YouTube. And on Facebook, there are people that literally only watch you on Facebook. They don't subscribe on YouTube. They get all of their information from Facebook. So I think having memberships set up on both of those is a good thing. Because, the people that are going to benefit from Facebook aren't the people that are paying for maybe there's a little crossover. But for the most part, they aren't the people paying for the memberships on YouTube. Nobody, absolutely nobody is solely following you on Twitter for your content. If you are a content creator, you do not have people following you on Twitter that only watch your stuff on Twitter.
Yes, if so, that you are going down with the ship. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Goodbye when Twitter goes down.
That doesn't exist. Yeah. And that's why, for me, I would personally never use a membership feature on Twitter. I'm just not going to, because it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make any sense at all. I feel like this being the first thing they're doing on Twitter was a mistake. I feel like Twitter should have gave us the ability to edit our dang tweets after we post them, so when we misspell something, we can fix it. For God's sakes, we've been asking for this since you freaking came out as a platform.
Yep. TikTok listen up too.
Yeah, TikTok is another one that they need to fix that. But one, that's what people have been begging for on Twitter. We didn't get it. Two, they need to start doing revenue share models with videos on Twitter, like Facebook is doing, like YouTube is doing. I feel like if you want to become a content creator platform, which, yes, years ago you may have been that, but you're not that anymore, you need to cater to content creators. You need to say, hey, we'll put ads on your video and give you a certain percentage if you post content here, and start it off exclusive. Start it off, grab those big people and say, hey, if you put content on our platform, we'll do this, blah, blah, blah. That's how Facebook got content creators. They went out and picked people and said, hey, we're going to put you in this program. And if you post videos and post this many videos a month, and it was post everything you can, we'll pay you this much money plus ad revenue plus blah, 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 blah. And they did it. They built a content creator centric platform in areas by buying creators and saying, hey, put your content here. And I think Twitter has really missed the mark on that. And I don't know. It's not something that I would ever enable on Twitter. Yeah. I have zero interest in enabling it. I have memberships on YouTube. I have memberships on Facebook, again, and I have a Patreon as well. And I treat them as three different things, like I was saying, there isn't a lot of platform crossover from Facebook to YouTube in what I do. And it's the same. I see the same thing with other creators I talk to. I'm like, well, most people that watch on Facebook. They're not on YouTube, which can be confusing at times because of how my Facebook content goes up versus how my YouTube content goes up. But that's another story.
I don't know. YouTube is very claustrophobic. You're very pushed in. All you can do on YouTube is one thing, and that's scroll. That's all you can do. There's no going this ways for anything. There's nothing. Maybe we're too hard on YouTube on Twitter, and maybe Twitter needs to just be what it is, and it's just a place for you to blurt something out, for you just to throw something out there with a photo or a quick thing, and that's it. What do we want out of Twitter? There's nothing you can do but complain on there or type on there or do stuff. When you look at 100% of everybody's profiles of everybody you follow, when you look at their bios, they always take you somewhere else. Not one person is taking you to Twitter. Not one person at all. You can always follow me on Twitter. You can follow me on Twitter. I post stupid stuff here and there. I have no interest in Twitter at all. It is only a place to speak and not be heard. If we look back over the last 4 or 5 years on Twitter, what is the only thing to ever come out of Twitter? And that is all the stuff that Trump's been tweeting. All the stuff. That is the only reason why anybody is focused on Twitter. Name anything else that has been linked to Twitter in the last 4 years. A lot of people, nothing.
When they've done research, a lot of people do follow a lot of news and get a lot of their news from Twitter. A lot of times when things are happening, the first place it's posted is Twitter, even over Facebook. Mm-hmm. So I feel like it's more of a news type of platform. I mean, besides the general things that go on there. I feel like people do use it in that aspect. I do post, photos and short form videos and things like that. But the problem is, Twitter is it's there and it's gone. It's not something that when I post a video, if you don't see it the day I posted it on Twitter, you don't see it. It's It just doesn't, there's no evergreen content. And I feel like until they figure out how to fix that or how to make that better, it's just going to remain
I don't
the
think they're
platform
gonna.
that it is.
The platform is the platform. And they prided themselves on this in like 2009 or 10 when they came out. Simple, throw the text up there, you're done, you're in and out, 140 characters, we're not bloating anything up. And since then, ads every 4 or 5 scrolls. Now we have paid service. Stay in your lane. You were trying to make yourself something that not only are you not, but you are so far away from the pulse of what is happening right now. I don't know. Can you make a penny on Twitter? How do you make how many pennies have you ever, can you make money on Twitter?
Oh yeah, you can make money on Twitter. And see, that's the thing. A lot of people like assume since there's no since you don't put ads on videos that you don't make money on Twitter. Oh no, there are people that will pay you to do sponsored posts on Twitter. I've done sponsored posts on Twitter. I with affiliate links with my kit, I've done things with that. I've done things with, merch posts and stuff like that.
But you're not just doing exclusively on Twitter. You're posting it to all your social medias.
There's things that I've done exclusively that I've been paid to do exclusively on Twitter as well. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
And that's the thing. Like, there's still, it's not a dead platform.
Yeah.
It's not a. See, and people have been saying that for years, but it's the same thing. TikTok came out, people said it was going to be a joke. Snapchat came out, people said it was going to be a joke. So I'm the opposite side of that. Twitter's not dead. Their stock's going up. Their stock's going up for a reason. They're making changes for a reason. I wouldn't count it off as being a dead platform. I wouldn't. Now, that being said, if you were new today and you decided you wanted to make a new social media, you have this idea and you have this thing and you're going to make videos about this. Would I invest a massive amount of time into Twitter to start? No, I wouldn't. I don't think Twitter is where you're going to go viral unless you put Gorilla Glue in your hair. I don't think.
Don't even get me started.
I don't think Twitter is the place you're going to take off. But I do see it as a content creator, as it is still a viable place to put things and have a presence. I still think you should have a presence on Twitter. Okay. I really do.
So I'm starting YouTube today. Hey, I'm going to be a content creator, Jess. Where's the first social media platform you want me to sign up at?
YouTube.
What about second?
Facebook.
What about third?
TikTok.
What about fourth?
Instagram.
What about fifth?
Ooh, probably your own website.
What about sixth?
Snapchat.
We'll get to Twitter at some point, people. What about seventh?
Yeah, probably Twitter.
What is that's a problem. That is a problem. When social media came out, what was created first? MySpace, Twitter, Facebook. Yep. Dude, you were there. You were on the Rushmore, Twitter, and you have now fallen off the Rushmore. Not only that, you are not even in the souvenir shop. You're not even in a snow globe. You're that shrunk down. That's a problem. I would
put time into Snapchat before I would put time into Twitter if I was starting out today. Like, I would choose to put more time, especially with Snapchat spotlights and what Snapchat's been doing. But see, that's the thing. A lot of people blew off Snapchat as a dead platform, even up to just a couple of years ago.
I did after they bought their glasses and they tanked because nobody bought their glasses and they were going down.
Their stock was like $10 a share. Now it's $60 a share. Creators have been being paid thousands of dollars to post on Snapchat. They've recreated themselves and they're now bringing people back in masses to create more on their platform. They've done a good job.
They have definitely dug themselves out of a hole. I can see that.
And I really do think that Twitter has the ability to do the same thing if they would just listen to creators. If they want to be a creator-driven platform, they need more information from creators. They need to sit down at a round table and be like, here's all these people, here's what they think, and they need to take notes. And that's what needs to happen. Or they go off in a totally different direction and stay in their lane and stay doing their own thing. But I think if they do that, they won't last. They shut down Periscope.
I heard that they were shutting down Periscope. No, Twitter's done this, and then it shot up a little bit in February here, but that's still not enough time. I mean, we all saw what happened to GameStop.
Right.
What were you gonna say, Blake?
I'll say, what were the top 5 ones that Jess said?
It was like Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, everything but pretty much
YouTube.
Twitter.
I disagree with that. I think Twitter is one of the most popular ones right now because every single person I watch who plays game, because I mean, that's your audience too.
But what are they tweeting?
Nobody uses. They just put, hey, go watch my stream.
That's it. Okay, but they're posting that 40 different places.
Like, hey, what do you want me to? What do you guys want me to do next week? What do you want me to do? Or hey, here's this thing that happened.
I will say you're right on that point where a lot of Twitch people like Twitter. One of the guys that I follow that goes to the racetracks every week, always posting like, check my Twitter to see my updates of my stuff, and doesn't even have an Instagram.
It is, that's the thing. It is not a dead platform. And for like a gamer, how does a gamer leverage Instagram? Like somebody who's doing games is going to have a harder time leveraging Instagram because it's not like you're traveling and getting photos or you have cute animals it's harder for them to leverage Instagram, but they can leverage Twitter doing exactly what Blake just said. Post your polls, ask people what to do, get your feedback from there. Twitter thrives, every social media platform thrives on engagement. Twitter does as well. I started doing these weekly things where I'm like, retweet if you love dogs. And it's been crazy how much my engagement has blown up just by posting something out there as simple as retweet this if you love dogs. And I'll have one of my little animated GIFs on there. Or retweet this if you like Siberian Huskies. Retweet this if you... And I've been trying to do that once a week. And I'm already seeing the benefit of just doing that. It's not a dead platform. I just wouldn't use their membership service. But those Twitch streamers, that might be something really good for them on there because they could literally have a membership service and they could say, this is what I'm going to do. If you're a member, you get to help choose. Now they're posting those polls to their members only, and their members are the ones that are directing where their content's going. That keeps people engaged. So Blake has a really good point. That's something that could work on Twitter.
That's true because people on Twitch do like their Twitter. I have a friend and she started doing Twitch during the pandemic. She's like, I'm going for it, and she's done it from A to B. I've watched her take off. I've watched her completely take off, and I asked her like, hey, like, how do you get people to follow you on Twitch? And she says nobody follows you on Twitch. You have to drive them from other places, Twitter and Instagram. She said she has to drive everybody to Twitch because nobody organically grows on Twitch. So okay, I do take it back. The Twitchers love Twitter. Yeah. The Twitchers love Twitter. I find it. I have a Twitter and I follow 5 of you people.
But you're grumpy old man Dan. So.
That's not true. That is not true. That is not true. That is not true. So yeah, well, Twitter, add to the paid service, just like everybody else with their stuff. At some point, it's gonna have to reach. It's gonna reach a limit, just like everything else. It's gonna reach a limit.
I don't think it will. I think that you can open up memberships on all those platforms if you really want to, and the people that want to support you there will support you there, and the people that don't. The hard part becomes managing all of those memberships and making sure that you're giving back what you say you're giving back. Like that's the hardest part. That's the hardest thing that is for me when it comes to memberships. Is making sure that I'm doing the posts and doing the stuff that I physically send out for my Patreon. I'm pretty good at doing because I know I have to do it. But the updating in between, I'm really bad at it, and I always feel like I feel guilty and I feel bad, and then I'm like, and then I try to put more stuff out in the week than I should, and that's the hardest part for me.
There's a fine line between making content and then having the time to make enough content for the paid people without that taking up your whole time.
Right, exactly.
Like I could not add another membership of anything to any of my stuff because I barely have time to get the stuff done I have to do for the regular stuff. So at some point you do hit a wall and you do hit fatigue.
Yeah.
You do
for
hit
sure.
fatigue. I canceled. I don't have HBO. I don't have Peacock. I don't have CBS All Access. I get it for a month. I'm fatigued, and there's too many other things fighting for my money, and Twitter's not gonna be one of them. Well, Jess, look. Here's the thing. These podcasts lately have been turning into more tech talk than anything. So I'm mindful, and we have to be careful of that. Sure, it's our podcast, but it's also your podcast too. So I don't know. We did like 40 minutes on Twitter talk, which doesn't apply to 90 people or 90% of the people that listen. So there you go. Pick up Jess's book. Oh my gosh. I don't know where to go to this next story. Do we talk about Lady Gaga's dog walker getting shot up? Who shoots up? Who shoots up dog walkers, people?
That story, like, that blew my mind. That really, like, it's been so crazy. You know, as crazy as it is, I saw that trending on Twitter. That's where I found out about that, was Twitter. But yeah, apparently her dog walker was walking. I don't know if it was 2 of her dogs or 3 of her dogs. And somebody shot him and took the dogs, like robbed him of the dog. And I guess like he put up a massive fight trying to save these dogs, which, oh my gosh, the guy like.
You can have the dog. You can have the dogs.
Right? She's got a good dog walker. So, you know, he got shot. I guess he's going to be okay. Thank goodness.
Oh, he got shot in the chest. Nobody cares about the person that got. By the way, the person got shot in the chest. You know, that's so funny.
I've seen that everywhere where there are all these people that are like, oh, she offered all this money for reward for the dogs, but she doesn't care about her dog walker. But if you actually look, she did care about her dog walker. She made a bunch of posts about it. What do you think? She's going to fire the guy? I'm sure she pays him really well, but there are so many people that, to me, I read it and I go, y'all, you're haters and you're envious. She offered $500,000 for her dogs. If my dogs got stolen, I would offer up as much money as I could as well. Like, but I'm not going to be like, oh, whatever about the dog walker. She made posts about him. She made Instagram posts about him. She made statements about him. You know, I'm sure he'll probably get a hefty bonus because he did try to save her dogs. Like, I don't think she's just like, whatever to the dog walker.
Gaga seems level-headed.
But every single media thing I've read and then the comments from people have been exactly what you were just saying. She don't care about the dog walker. The dog walker got shot in the chest.
No, not her. Like you get one line in the news article.
In the articles?
Yeah. Yes. I continue to love you, Ryan Fisher. You risked your life to fight for our family. You're forever a hero, she said on an Instagram post. And probably to his face via Twitter.
Oh, I'm sure.
You know, if you guys are subscribed to her paid Twitter service, you probably saw that. But, yeah, so I still don't know. At this time that I'm reading this stuff, we still don't know if they knew that it was her dogs. There was a movie with who's that murderer guy? Oh, Christopher Walken. There was a movie where like someone took his dog or something like that, and the whole movie was they were trying to get this dude's dog back, you know, and he was like a mob guy or whatever. And it kind of reminds me of that. Like, why would they want to steal her dog in the first place? Or do they know it was their dog? Or do they just want the French bulldogs? You know, I don't know. But man, if you're getting shot out there walking dogs, you know, it's a dog-eat-dog world. I know that, but
I guess
that's crazy.
That they were saying that those dogs sell for a lot of money, which I don't follow that breed.
Oh, I'm
really
sure
well,
French bulldogs, you know.
Yeah. So I guess they sell for a lot of money. So somebody was saying they were trying to steal the dogs to sell them.
That seems more like it.
Yes, a lot of people were saying they probably had no idea those were Lady Gaga's dogs.
Yeah, who knows, but probably not.
And then some lady found them tied to a pole in an alley and called the police and said, hey, I'm pretty sure these are these dogs. Right. I guess, from what I heard, and I didn't read the article on it, I guess the person didn't even approach the dogs, like called the police first and was like, I think these might be the dogs. And they, you know, and then everybody's like, oh, she had to be involved. And it sounds like she literally was just a person that had heard it on the news and was walking by, you know, this alley and there was these dogs tied up and called. So I don't think she was involved either.
Does she get the money?
I don't know. I don't know if she's going to take it. I'm sure if she's offered it, maybe she would take it. Maybe she wouldn't take it. I don't know.
I would absolutely take the money. Take the money. I would take the money. I would take it. I wouldn't even give it even away. I'd take it for myself. I'd keep it. That's my money. But yeah, $500,000.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
The dogs' names are Koji and Gustav. Gustav?
I don't know.
But that is a crazy story. Get well, dog walker.
Yeah, that was nuts. Like I said, I read that, and the thing that got me the most was the comments from people. I
haven't seen. I was looking at the news.
Oh, people are crazy.
Here. Could you be a dog walker?
No. That's gotta be. I don't want to do that. I don't want to be in charge of other people's dogs.
Do you know any dog walkers? Like, are you friends with any people that like professionally dog walker?
Yeah, actually I am.
Is that a pretty good gig? Because I'm afraid that the dogs, like, you see them in the movies where, you know, you have like 40 leashes and they're all like tangled up. And then
you don't want to do that. I have a few friends that work for what is it, WAG and for Rover. And
is WAG the one where they'll come walk your dog?
Yeah, they do the dog walking services where they'll come and they'll walk your dog. Beck did it. I don't know if she's still doing it, but she did it for quite a while. She would walk people's dogs. She would go to their house. They were at work or whatever, and she'd take the dogs. She'd take for a walk and, take it back or whatever. And I got another friend of mine who lives New Jersey, and he does the same thing. He walks dogs.
What do you
for
do?
people
What do I get for a dog walk? If I come over to your house and walk your dogs, I get like $10. Like, do you give me a 5-spot for a dog walk?
It's pretty crazy. I'm pretty sure it's can be pretty lucrative. Well,
it can now that things are getting gunned down.
Yeah, right.
I'd be going over to your house being like, do you want to get shot while you're walking your dog? No? Well, then you better let me do it. I'd have like a bulletproof vest on.
That's the new sales pitch.
I'd be the Kevlar dog walker.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people that do it. I don't want to do it, but there are a lot of people that do it.
That's crazy. I don't know if I could do that.
I don't want to do
it. I don't want to do that either. I don't even want to look into it. I do see that people. There's a guy that works in LA that I see his fully wrapped van is, and he'll go to your house and clean up your backyard from dog poop.
Yep, we have one of those companies that just opened here.
That's it. Yep. It's like Pooper Scooper.
Years ago I said that. I'm like, you want to make money? This is the business you need to open.
Scoop and poop.
Especially like in our town, I kept saying, I'm like, you can make so much money because there's so many retired people and it's so hard for them to do. And they would be more than willing to pay people to do this. And I said it for years. And then the other day I saw a thing on Facebook that somebody in our town finally did it. And I sent him a message and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's genius. It's such a great idea. Like it's people need that. Right. And people are willing to pay for it.
We've learned during this pandemic that people are willing to pay for everything, for every kind of service. Like I was looking at PetSmart will deliver today. I can get something from PetSmart today through DoorDash. Yeah. They'll go and deliver it. So people want everything automated and done now.
Yep.
So that's a good idea. I don't want to go clean up poop all the time.
I don't, I liked the idea, but I didn't want to do it.
Right. It's a moneymaker thing. So yeah, no dog walking for me. I would just be, you would see the dogs running and then you'd see me holding on to them, flapping in the wind behind them when they were running. Ah. Right. Well, Jess, I know you have places to be.
Always.
So I think we should wrap this up.
Okay.
Yeah, it's only 9:30. After this, I can make some tea. I can still watch Regis and Kathy Lee. It hasn't started yet.
Regis and Kathy Lee.
No, what comes on in the morning every day now, as I see, is it's The Price is Right at 10 o'clock, and it's Let's Make a Deal at 9 o'clock. So Wayne Brady and Drew Carey, they own the mornings now. They own the mornings.
Yeah, they do. Mm-hmm, they do.
All right, Jess, let's get out of here and let's do this.
Okay.
All right, that'll do it for this week's episode of the CC Mouse Podcast. Listen to us every Wednesday on your favorite music app. Find the video version of the podcast at youtube.com/CC Mouse Podcast. Rep our merch at ccmousepodcast.shop. We have those We Did a Thing shirts in stock again. You guys will have to check those out. Those were a popular seller. People love We Did a Thing.
Yeah.
We Did a Thing. So we'll see you guys next week. Same mouse time, same mouse podcast. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Yeah, we did a thing.
My chair's squeaky. Bye, everybody.
Bye.